Let's make the panels for the take a break, tote, bag and bottle. We're going to be making the base. So it's the centre base for the tote, and we've got some Embroidery in the hoop and probably some extra stabiliser underneath that to give it some strength. And then we're just going to do our red work pattern, which is quite beautiful in itself. Slip them in the corners. So we've got a centre panel and two side panels, and the side panels are triangles, as you can see here. We're just going to trim up the edges, leaving the 1/2 inch seam. So the batting has been trimmed out of the seam already on your first stage in your notes. So we've only got fabric and stabilizer in these seams, and the seam is back. The stabilizer is back from the actual seam edge as well by a couple of millimeters, so easy to join. So here we have the pieces made. So we have a center and two ends. It's an odd shape, but you wait till you see how it works. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be making our sides. So we're going to be doing overlapping panels. So let's put our placement line down first, and then we've got Embroidery in the hoop with some bag stiffener underneath, and we're just going to put our first piece of fabric down. The curved edge rather than the sharp edge, there we can see at the bottom of the hoop, is the actual top of the tote side. So we're going to trim that seam back just 2 to 3 millimeters away from that stitching, and then we're going to do our motif fill in a contrasting colour. The colour pack I've used in this project is actually Tutti Frutti, and I've added a blue into it. So that extra seam allowance there is where the zip's going to go, and I've purposefully not put any any batting or Embroidery behind where the zip will run, because don't want to make it thick and chunky, want to make it easy to do. Let's add our embroidery, which is some red work with circles, and then satin stitch that row, joining those two pieces of fabric. So that's our first section. Let's take that out of the hoop and trim this up. So 1/2 inch seams, fabrics I've chosen are a linen look cotton. I've tried to replicate a sort of a dull look of the Tutti Frutti thread pack so as that they stand out. Okay, so that section is that section there. So we're going to do the middle one now. So same principle, we lay our fabrics on and we do our embroidery or our red work. And then once we're finished, we're going to stitch a placement line, which we've just done. And that placement line is going to marry up with this edge line of our first panel. Now, I haven't taped this down. I want you to see how it works. I'll tape it down on the next section to show you. So it's stitching on top of stitching. I start and stop my machine to make sure I'm actually all lined up. Only because when you take your work out of the machine, out of the embroidery hoop and trim up your seams, sometimes it is not the shape that you expect it to be. It just has a little bit of a mind of its own. Let's trim the seam back You've got to be quite concise with trimming the seam back. It needs to be even, and it needs to be as close to the stitching as possible. So we had an overlap which we've trimmed off, and on the back there will be an underlap as well, but we won't see that quite yet. And then we're going to do the zigzag stitch down the line to keep it all together. And then we'll do our motif satin stitch down the first portion. And then we'll disguise this join by doing a line across the piece, which is going to be, again, just a satin stitch. So you can't quite tell where the join is, and that's the whole point of this. So there's our first two sections together. Let's trim them up. 1/2 inch seams. We do have some curves to deal with, so just you can actually draw the curves on and trim them with scissors, or you can actually use the rotary cutter like I am. On the back, you've got your underlap. That's from that join, which you just want to trim that back. Don't cut your satin stitch. Never know it was there. Big secret. So it means if you've got a 5x7 hoop, you can make a decent sized project. Right, one more. So we're going to do one more, and then we're going to join the joined sections onto this. So there we go. We've got our stitching done. I've got my marker line in. And so what I would do is I would match them up. So it's stitching on top of stitching, and then you put a piece of washi tape across. So the first one I didn't do this. I just did it by hand, so you see what I was doing. This one I'm going to be a little bit more precise. And then let's push this hoop up. Right. So you're looking for your stitching to start on that stitching line. If it's not in the right position, take it out, redo that row of stitching. It will make a big mess if you don't do that. Right. Trim that back. Keep that quite trimmed back as firm as you possibly can. And we're going to do a row of satin stitch. You might need to look at your foot height when you go over that satin stitch lump. If the foot height is too low, it will actually hesitate at that pink satin stitch meeting the red. And then we're doing some frame straight stitching around the edge of that satin stitch, which I quite like. It's quite a nice finished effect. So there's your side panel. Remove that from the hoop, and you can see that you've got your underlap, which we need to trim off. And repeat 1/2 inch seams on the exterior perimeter seam lines. So those curves are where the zip will go, and then we have the black base going in the middle. So we're going to put the zip around that edge. Now let's have a look at the bottle carrier. Now I've done one panel, it's got the 2 buttonholes in. We're going to do this again, So we've joined the panels together on the bottom. Okay, so we've joined those. So you've got the green and the blue are joined, and then they go onto the orange. Now we're going to do our last panel, panel 3, which has the buttonholes in it. You only need to have one panel with the buttonholes in. You'll see that I've got 2 here, but I ended up taking the buttonholes out. The buttonholes go in there. Now, because it's a drawstring, I put a little bit of extra stabilizer behind where the buttonholes will go. That's just going to be cut away, or it could be tear away. Just a little bit of extra build up for those buttonholes to form. You've got to love machine embroidered buttonholes, they look amazing. Right, so we've got our other piece of fabric going on there. We've got a satin stitch, and it's got a step zigzag over it. It makes it look a bit lacy. Let's put our placement line on there, and we're going to join the other half of this bottle on the placement line. Stick it into place if you want to. I think slowing the machine down and just holding it in position so as you've got seam on top of seam actually seems slightly easier. Okay, so that's in place. Trim that seam back, and let's do our final row of stitching. That row of stitching is actually quite heavy because it's also got to hold on to a water container. We don't want that going anywhere through a loose seam. This is a great technique. Let's just take this out of our hoop, trim our back off. Just that underside, just trim that off. I actually forgot to trim off around the buttonholes. Whoops. But I did remove that extra piece of stabilizer when I was making it up. So there we have the base. We have 2 front and the back. Only one with buttonholes in, please. You only need one set of, unless you're going to do a double drawstring, which some people quite like.